President has signed the controversial farm bills that were passed by the Parliament before the Parliament's monsoon session was adjourned. President Ram Nath Kovind signing the dotted lines on those controversial farm bills, which have the farmers up in arms, the opposition also protesting. Let's go across to Sunil Prabhu for more on this. Sunil, so now the farmers are protesting, the opposition is protesting, the President has gone ahead and signed on the dotted line.
That's right. As expected by the President, please remember that is the fact was that all these three bills were presented for waiting for approval from the President, and they had already been passed as an ordinance. So it's in that context that this bill, all these three have now become an act of Parliament. So it is no more temporary, it is permanent.
Sunil, President took a few days to sign these bills. Was he considering taking opinion on these bills before signing it? All right, we'll try and reconnect with Sunil Prabhu. So that's the breaking news that's coming in. President Ram Nath Kovind now signing those bills days after the Parliament cleared these bills. And remember, the way these bills were cleared by Parliament in the Rajya Sabha by a voice vote amid the opposition calling for the division of votes, the government saying that the opposition members weren't on their seats to call for the division of votes. The manner has come under scrutiny, under question, the way these bills were passed. The opposition had urged the President to return the bills to Parliament for a comprehensive discussion on these bills. But the President has gone ahead and signed these bills. So these bills have become law. Remember, these bills have triggered a widespread protest by the farmers across the country, particularly in Haryana, in Punjab and parts of Uttar Pradesh. Farmers are protesting over there, but the President has signed these bills. Sunil Prabhu is back with us. Sunil, I was asking you, the President took some time before signing these bills, took a few days' time. Was he consulting legal voices before going ahead and signing this?
Well, he did definitely wanted to look at the merits of the opposition claim about what exactly happened, to understand from his perspective whether there was any foul play, what is the decision, what is the role of the President. As we are all aware, there is very little that you can actually do in terms of how to go about this entire process. So it's in that context that the President is wanting to consult and be sure before going ahead to sign the bill. That is a delay. But as you're well aware, Rohit, this was already an ordinance, which was basically already in letter and spirit, already in action.
Yes.
And the fact that he's now given his signature to all those three authorities, farmers, dismantling PMCs, as well as the trading community, the bill shows that somewhere down the line, the President was convinced with what had the presiding officers giving their signatures and what happened in Parliament. So now there is a very unlikelihood of any kind of opposition, and much will depend on its implementation and how it's about the entire process.
Right, Sunil. Sunil, so let's talk about politics. You mentioned about the opposition. The opposition has protested. In fact, Ghulam Nabi Azad a few days back went to the President, urging the President to send these bills back to Parliament for a comprehensive discussion. What is the opposition strategy likely to be on these bills now that they are law?
Well, they have already gone to the streets, started a campaign. They are convinced that the law, and this is where they're trying to reconnect with the farmers on these important legislations to tell them that, as has been pointed out in these debates, both in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, that it's that they will be appealing to them and trying to make the reason that, as you're well aware, has already started full-page arguments to try to explain their perspective. But of course, as you're well aware, Rohit is less than the cabinet minister in charge of food processing and an important and old ally of the National Democratic Alliance of the BJP, the Akali Dal, have walked out and quit the alliance as well as quit the cabinet on this important matter. So the government will need to do a lot of questioning on this important issue.
Sunil, let's talk a bit about the government. Now, the farmers are protesting. They have lost an ally, one of the oldest allies, the Akali Dal. The opposition is protesting. There are new equations appear to be forming where Akali Dal chief is telling Derek O'Brien that we appreciate your support and all of that. What is the government? The government seems to be putting everything at stake here.
Well, they have already, and this was a decision that was taken during the lockdown when the Prime Minister, in consultation with some of his cabinet colleagues, as well as bureaucrats, felt that this was a path-breaking. One nation, one farmer will help the farmers in the long run, so for them, they believe that ultimately the farmers will definitely get a good deal. They will be able to break barriers, to get a better reforms in terms of agriculture to ensure there is less wastage and that their remuneration prices will increase. But the concern, of course, as you're well aware, remains the minimum support price as well as procurement by government agencies, which is something that the government now will have to counter.